Masonmont, if Rice scores more points than me this season, he'll have to start over. In the shadow of Abu Dhabi's Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque, Petr Cech offered a warning to Chelsea's squad that struck a chord with Mason Mount. Prior to a training session, Cech explained to the group how losing the Club World Cup final 10 years ago was one of the few regrets from his career, and Mount's mind moved to the reason he retains his runner-up medal. You look at them and think how distraught you were after the game, and they bring back that kind of feeling, he said. I know a lot of players, as soon as they get a second-place medal, they throw it to the side, but I kinda like having them. They're not in the trophy cabinet, they're in the side. You can use them as motivation. You can use them to remember that feeling you had after the game, that you never want that again. Mount is sitting in the shade of an umbrella, escaping the searing heat of the Middle Eastern sun, before Saturday night's Club World Cup final. Over his shoulder, a man wearing Palmeiras green dozes poolside at this palatial hotel, one of around 15,000 fans, to travel from South America. In the absence of Thomas Tuchel, the Chelsea head coach who tested positive for COVID-19 last week, Cech has stepped up from his role as technical director and relayed the story of his team's defeat in 2012. I've definitely learned over the last couple of days this is a very, very rare competition that you play in, Mount, 23, said. It may only come around once in my career, so as a group we know how serious we're taking this and how important it is to give it everything. Mount certainly has experience of major finals now. This is his 5th in 12 months after winning the Champions League and Super Cup but losing the FA Cup and European Championship with England. He hopes to end the year 300 miles down the road in Qatar at the World Cup final in December, but focus for now is on Chelsea and Saturday's final. Over the next 25 minutes, Mount discusses the burning eyes he regularly directs at coaches who leave him out their team, describes being a pit bull against the Brazilian defender Pepe, and reveals his advice for best friend Declan Rice. But the place to begin is the reason for being here today, and Mount's contribution having assisted Kai Havertz for the winning goal in last year's Champions League final. It is a moment Chelsea fans will never forget, yet a memory that's escaped its protagonist. I don't think I slept that well, and for the day of the game, it was the only one I have been very, very anxious about. Butterflies in my belly, Mount said. I did not eat well before, but as soon as we got to the stadium, we did the warm-up and I was excited. I remember playing, but after that it's kind of like a blur. I remember screaming so long I gave myself a headache, and I lost my voice in that instant. These are the highs and lows of football. You go from being at the top of the top to being absolutely devastated and losing a final for your country. Defeat by Italy at Wembley Stadium was the 69th game of Mount's season. This one has been interrupted by injury and illness. All 4 of his wisdom teeth were removed in November, yet the midfielder has already surpassed his tally for goals and assists last year. It's been a bit stop-start, Mount said. You don't think your teeth are going to stop you from playing football for a week or so, but it did. I had to get them out, so that was a bit of drama that I went through, and it did actually really mess me up for a little bit. It was Newcastle away, and I woke up on the day in a lot of agony, so I had to come back. I was in the car straight from Newcastle back to London, and it was the worst journey I've ever been on. I was struggling a lot. Then I got them out and I missed the England camp, so it was a difficult little period where I didn't think it was going to happen at all. I wanted to just rip them out myself, but it probably wouldn't have been the best idea. Instead, a professional performed the procedure, and his mum Debbie captured the after effects of morphine as Mount garbled in the back seat of a car. It was my brother or sister who stitched me up, he says, laughing. They told my mum to record me straight after. She captured some gold content. Mount ended up missing 6 games for club and country. He speaks about occasionally having to ask a coach through gritted teeth for a rest, but the delivery is less than convincing. Has he ever done that? No. Mount says emphatically. I can't bring myself to say that. I just leave it to the physios or other staff to say. He's run that much in the games or cumulative games added up that I've run quite a lot, and maybe it's best to let him recover for a bit. But it would never come from me, no, never. Leave Mount out your team, and his disappointment is made clear without words. Tuchel and his predecessor, Frank Lampard, described his burning eyes that said more than any expletive. Mount says Henk Fraser, manager of the Dutch club Vitesse, where he was on loan in 2017-18, was the first real target after struggling to get into the team at the beginning of the season. ID never experienced something like that, going abroad and not playing for the first 2 or 3 months, he said. Maybe in that little period is when I found my burning eyes. I found that fire. I don't know if I'm actually doing it or not, but you don't want to miss a game as a player, especially missing out on a big game. It hurt. But I'm not someone to go straight away to a manager and say to a manager, why are you not starting me? I should be playing. I'm someone who likes to show in training that I'm definitely ready to play and ready to start. I don't want to miss out on any big game. Mount is amiable company and mention of his best friend Declan Rice, the West Ham United midfielder he met at Chelsea Academy, brings out his playful personality. Like Mount, Rice has improved his statistics this season, with 5 goals and 4 assists for club and country. It suggested the England midfielder has become a goal-scoring midfielder. Is he? Mount says, laughing, if I finish up under him this season I'll be very, very disappointed. It will be back to the drawing board, a lot of rethinking. Rice was a centre-back at Chelsea's academy, so if he ever came close to me I'd say, get yourself back there, mate. You're not coming past me. That's my job to get in there. So he never really done that, but you can see in his game how he's progressed over the last couple of years to really push forward. The way he strikes the ball, the way he finishes, I've always said to him you can score way more goals than you have done previously. Mount is called to join the squad for lunch, where he sits with Thiago Silva and Jorginho among others. They are expecting a physical game here, but last year's Champions League game against Porto provides evidence of Chelsea being up to the challenge. They've got Pepe at the back, who you know about, trying to get in our heads, Mount said. He was speaking to our players in Portuguese or whatever, so I was trying to get in there like a little pit bull, trying to get in his head. But I stayed far away. I didn't want one of them tackles to come my way.